book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon, America, and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Syria and Egypt, the world in total. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair, bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Habashai, Wahara Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, Shalom, to the hopeful elect that seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel. They're scattered abroad amongst the heathen, some looking like the heathen, making 144,000, preachers, teachers, and prophets, Shalom. Yeah, man, I got a couple videos I'm going to play. Father Howard's will. Going into, as you see, global oil supply crunch. It says oil crisis goes global, fuel shortages, panic buying. Right? Now, before we do that, I want to, so this war went to the world. Now, this is affecting the world, right? This war back east is affecting the world, right? And it's causing all this stress and strain. It's causing prophecies to come to pass. That's good, right? Remember, who started this war? Esau. You going to that pale horse? That's Esau. Esau started this. Hey, real quick. Hey, that's why. Let's get it real quick. See, y'all coming to find out, y'all coming to realize that these so-called white people, beginning with the elites, America, and the Israelis, these are the damn Edomites, man. Y'all gonna come to that realization before it's too late. The hopeful elect already know. And a lot of Edomites know their own people ain't about nothing. Now, when you get real quick, it says, Isaiah 24.
They might get fired for saying that.
It says, behold, the Lord Yahweh shall make of the earth empty, and make of it waste, and turn it upside down, and scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be, as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with his mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. And the land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for the Lord Yahweh Shemashah has spoken this word. So this is the end game to America, destruction. All right? It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the halted people of the earth do languish. The proud. The earth also is defiled underneath the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
I gave up on diet.
Why? Through Esau. All right, remember, America, Babylon, which is America, has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that has making all the earth drunken. Remember, the whole earth is drunken after the fornication of America. So you see what America is causing. See the effect America has. Now you get verse 6, it says, therefore has the curse these Edomite so-called white people devour
I gave up on dieting.
Devour the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. And that's what it's going to lead to. War. World War III. Destruction. And the few men left, hey, is the elect that's going to be delivered out of America. And you can have a few men left on the Eastern Hemisphere, man. All right? Also Central South America. You know? But hey, a lot of people going to die. All right? But you can have some heathens left over. All right? After World War III. There's going to be a lot of people left over. All right? It's just going into how, hey, underneath the inhabitants of Esau, hey, people are dying left and right. These devils are the wicked. Hey, you know we got to get to Job 9:24 real quick. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where? Who is he? Who on earth are covering up the faces of the Israelites? Who on earth, as a matter of fact, who on earth are claiming to be every nation except their own? These Edomites. They claim to be the original Egyptians. They're claiming to be the Israelites. They claiming to be the original Europeans. No, you not, man. Claiming to be the original inhabitants of Russia. No, you not. You claiming to be the original Scots.
Ladies, let me show you
The British. No, you not. Okay? No, you not. That's Japheth. Okay, so-called Hawaiians. See, they're the real culture vultures, man. All right? So you see, these devils, man, are the wicked. All right? They are the wicked. Now, through the wicked, they're bringing what? Hell, chaos, and turmoil in the earth. All right? That's why, real quick. See, as more stress and straits and difficulties are hitting the earth, people are starting to realize that America is the problem and that these so-called white people who are the biblical Edomites are the ones in charge of this, man, are the ones who are leading the way. All right? These people are the problem of the earth, man. That's why when you get Isaiah 14, Nahum 3, the last verse, also in Jeremiah, I believe it's 50 or either 51, how the nations are going to clap their hands at the destruction of Babylon, man. All right? The earth is going to rejoice.
this morning hack.
The trees, the animal, the air. All right? The nations, the earth itself, the water is going to rejoice. The insects are going to rejoice at the downfall of these bastards, man. And now, real quick, when you get Habakkuk 2 and 5, right? Let's start at 4. It says, "Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him." Who? Esau,
My husband
the
laughed
wicked,
at me when I.
who is ruling the earth. The great whore that's riding the scarlet-colored beast. That's over the seas, which would be the nations. It sitteth upon many waters, which is the nations. It says, "Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him," meaning what? He's wicked. But the just, the nation of Israel, beginning with the elect, shall live by his faith. And it says, shall live by his faith.
I might get fired for.
That's singular. His is singular. That's going to the nation of Israel, which would be the elect. Yet also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth the home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death. You see that? This man brings chaos and death and cannot be satisfied. He's a child. You can't satisfy a child. This also goes to show you that he's of the flesh. You can't satisfy the flesh. He's worldly. He's wicked. But gather unto him all nations and heap unto him all people. You see? Now what I did was, because you in the video, as you see the headline right here, Philippines becomes first country to declare national emergency over Middle East war. Well, I typed in, I said, let me see if what they said about America. I said, is the U.S. under a national emergency? National emergency. Energy emergency, my fault. Is the U.S. under a national energy emergency? AI overview. Yes. As of early 2026, the United States is operating under a declared national energy emergency initiated by President Donald Trump on January the 20th, 2025. It says via Executive Order 14156, the order claims that inadequate domestic energy production poses a threat to national security, prompting accelerated fossil fuel permitting and infrastructure development. It says key details regarding the current status include continuation. The energy was formally continued beyond January the 20th, 2026 by a notice in the Federal Register. Actions taken. The administration has used its authority to prioritize leasing, production, and refining and to bypass certain environmental regulations to lower consumer costs. Context: while the administration cites the need to secure the grid and increase supply, critics and industry analysts previously argued in 2025 that the data did not support an actual emergency, noting high oil gas production levels. So if they did this in 2025, look at the situation, the energy situation, the oil situation going on by East. So you see how much severe it is now? Okay? So it's safe to say that America is truly underneath a national emergency, a national energy emergency. It says impact. The Energy Declaration has facilitated federal actions to speed up energy infrastructure projects to meet rising demand from data centers and other sectors. So you see they're moving quick with this AI system, man. And they need these AI centers. All right? Remember, the grid is under attack, the infrastructure weak. We did a video on that earlier today. All right? So they already warned of blackouts. Okay? This stuff coming, y'all. This darkness coming. All right? Rationing is coming. All right? Certain times we can power on and get gas or whatever. That stuff coming. Now I typed in my other phone. Then we'll play the videos. I typed in because you can kind of get an idea about how things are going to be here. You kind of get the feel of it. I typed in, how are people affected during a national energy emergency? Right. AI overview. A national energy emergency. Remember, we're underneath a national energy emergency as early as 2026, but they put it in action in 2025. So it's safe to say that, hey, we're in it now. We're really in it now. Okay? It says a national energy emergency, such as a severe grid failure or fuel shortage. And also, don't forget, Trump released the national the oil reserves, right, to try to ease prices. Is that helping? Remember, once the reserves go, that's it. You still don't think rationing coming? Uh, 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 um, uh, um, yeah, rationing coming. You still don't think the lights going out soon? Certain times you can utilize power. That's rationing too. All right. It says failure of fuel shortage causes immediate disruption, including potential rolling blackouts, high energy price spikes, and mandatory conservation efforts. Daily life. Hey, don't forget them AI data centers gonna be sucking up a lot of power, man. So you got that. Say thanks. Say thanks, tech gurus. All right. Hey, which is prophecy, man. Okay. And I'm gonna keep saying it, man. Hey, through the spirit of prayer, Yahweh Shema Shah. These inner cities, man, these major cities in these states where they got the truth, that's really where they're gonna have the power at, man. These little smaller cities outside them major cities, it's gonna be no man's land. There ain't gonna be no power out there. Alright? They're gonna kill the power out there in them areas. And them people, man, people gonna die, man. Alright? And this can cause famine too, because it can cause food to spoil. People can't cook. Everything electric. Everybody like the easy route. People don't know how to start a fire. It says It says daily life is affected by potential shutdowns of public buildings, right? Transportation issues, and heightened anxiety over the availability of gasoline and electricity. People are going to freak out, often requiring federal action for relief. You're going to get some federal relief, all right? Them damn troops, all right? And you know the solution to this problem, excuse me, is the safe haven zones, 15-minute cities, the mark of the beast. Excuse me, y'all. My fault with yawning. I apologize. Key impacts on individuals and communities: power outages, risk of blackouts or brownouts due to, for example, a strained grid leading to loss of electricity in homes and businesses, and that'll cause a fire too. The brownouts, that's when your lights start dimming because it's not getting proper power, but it's surging for power. Man, it'll burn your damn house down. It says, so it's gonna be a lot of homes lost due to fire. Your possessions, your people. It says loss of electricity in homes and businesses, economic strain, significant increases in cost for gasoline and heat and fuel for households, inflation, which is going to be hyperinflation, operational closures, potential closure of schools, public buildings, and businesses due to lack of energy supply. Well, guess what? This is another thing people are not thinking about, right? Your kids go to school, they eat that junk, what little bit it is, but hey, what little bit it is money not coming out of your pocket, right? You at work, right? But hey, when this thing's happening, hey, people not gonna be at work. So everybody's gonna be home, kids gonna be home, you gonna run out of food, they're gonna be complaining, whining, agitated. They can start beating y'all asses. The iPads and phones ain't working. They ain't got no damn snacks. They can't go get no McDonald's. They ain't eating no damn air fries. And they can start whooping y'all their mama's asses, man, and beat up on each other. As we read up, it's gonna cause what? And heightened anxiety. You see? It says, so these people gonna freak out, man. And these women don't know how to deal with their kids because these women, they send the kids to school, the kids come home, they let the kids watch TV, well, they be on the phones, playing the game, on the phones, playing with their friends, iPad, and that's it. They don't interact with the kids. So when it comes down for them to interact with them, when the power go out and the kids don't got the entertainment, man, yo, like that drunk gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. You gonna have to sit with your own semen demons, man, and they gonna whoop your ass. Or you gonna whoop theirs one. There's gonna be a lot of thumping going on. That's all I can say, and a lot of death. All right. It says, operational closures, potential closure of schools, public buildings, and businesses due to lack of energy supply. And that's banks included. Mandatory conservation. Government requests or mandates for consumers to reduce energy usage, such as turning down thermostats and limiting appliance use. People are not going to do it. Hey, I believe that joint gonna hit this summer, and I believe this gonna be the hottest summer. Hey, I believe it. I actually believe it's gonna hit a mid to late spring, going into the summer, and when that joint and when it's getting hot, that summer heat hit, and it's gonna be a severe strain on the power grid. Man, you ain't gonna have to worry about turning down your damn thermostat, turn it up, whatever. you ain't got no damn power. Limiting appliance use. You get TV, washing your clothes. That junk be crazy. It says safety and health risk. Infrastructure failures can cause disruptions to critical services, while extreme weather-related energy shortages, e.g. in a heat wave or when the storm, pose life safety risk, you see? It says governmental and environmental responses, emergency powers. The president may invoke the Stafford Act to authorize federal support and waive certain environmental regulations to increase energy production. How you going to increase it? I mean, you ain't got nothing to increase it with. The oil. Come on, man. Come on. Finish. AI data centers sucking up all the water. You see? It says infrastructure changes. An emergency often triggers accelerated permitting for oil pipelines and fossil fuel power plants, which can increase pollution levels in surrounding areas. Resource allocation. Governments may prioritize the distribution of fuel and power to critical infrastructure, such as hospitals and emergency services, and that's what they're going to do. All right? What's going to be the primary use? These AI data centers, man. See, hey, this right here alone, resource allocation, is going into it's not going to be distributed in all areas of the United States. It's going to be limited. And hospitals and emergency services are where in your inner cities. Okay? In your inner cities. Now, you got 10 FEMA zones, which all inner cities in each state ain't gonna be functioning. Because it's not gonna be major cities, all right? Within these states, within all 50 states. All right? So hey, it's a lot of damage, man, a lot of chaos, man. All right? Now let's play a couple of these videos. Cause see, hey, you want to know what's coming here to America? Look at what's going on back east. All right, and also down south, man, in Central South America. It's just going to the same thing. As you see, it's due to what? The Iran war. U.S. ally details national emergency due to oil crisis from Iran war. March 24th, the Philippines declared national emergency on Tuesday. The president, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., warned the country's fuel supply was in imminent danger. You see that? Got a video on that too. See, it's going to the same thing. I just wanted to prove that, y'all. Philippines becomes first country to declare national emergency over Middle East war. Is it on this one? Or do I got it? Because I got the video. Yeah. This is it. How much more shot? Check this out.
The Philippines has become the first country in the world to declare a state of national energy emergency, thanks to a war thousands of miles away. Long lines snake out of Manila's gas stations, and soaring fuel prices have left some of Manila's jeepney drivers uncertain how long they can stay on the road.
Instead of being able to bring home the earnings, it goes to pay for diesel. What's left for us is very little.
It's all down to the U.S. and Israel's war with Iran, which has closed the Strait of Hormuz to all but a handful of ships.
Damn it. Did you hear what he said? He said the money that he's bringing in is going to oil. That's the black horse, man. That's hyperinflation. That's famine. All right? You see? That's that Haggai 1 and 6. All the wages that you bring in is going right back out. You see? You've been warned, man. And this stuff is here. All praise to Yahweh Shemashah. It's coming to America. It's a part of the breakdown, man. It's a part of the reset. It's a part of the collapse. It's a part of this new system coming in that's going to be very short. It's a part of the mark of the beast coming in. All right? America, they done lost the trust of the people, so they're going to gain it back. By what? Deceiving, meaning what? Seducing. The simple, right? Well, because they're going to be in such a low state, man. People much death and chaos. They're going to want out of that, man. People going to be hungry, sick, medicine, food, water. They're going to want to wash their ass. You know? People going to be washing their ass like they ain't never washed their ass before. Hold on, y'all. It's acting crazy.
What's left for us is very little.
It's all down to the U.S. and Israel's war with Iran, which has closed the Strait of Hormuz to all but a handful of ships. Asia is especially vulnerable to the supply shocks that's caused. It consumes more than 80% of the oil that crosses the strait. In South Korea, the president has called for a 12-point countrywide energy-saving campaign. People are being asked to take shorter showers, charge their phones during the day rather than overnight, and only use their washing machines and vacuum cleaners at weekends. Fuel shortages have also caused some of Asia's flagship carriers to consider suspending flights, while India's textile industry has been impacted. India imports around half of its oil from the Middle East, and shortages have started to cause some factories to close or use carbon fuels, and some residents to abandon their kitchens. The cost of gas is so high, we are cooking on this open-air stove, this woman tells us. She is far from alone. People are queuing to fill gas cylinders and fuel tanks across Asia. From Kathmandu, Nepal, to Colombo in Sri Lanka, where authorities have declared every Wednesday a public holiday for government institutions, including schools, but exempting hospitals to manage energy resources. And it's not just fuel shortages that are causing hardship. Thai farmers say there's a social stigma too.
When we bring containers to buy fuel, people look at us and accuse farmers of hoarding. We simply can't handle the cost anymore. Rice prices haven't risen with the costs.
Even Thailand's cities are not immune. The Thai government has ordered government employees to lower office air conditioning to save energy and ditch suits and ties to keep cool. That edict even applies to news anchors. Christy Lou Stout, CNN, Hong Kong.
You see that? So people will walk around this joint naked. You see? Hey, and what did y'all get from that though? Let's get it. Right here in the scriptures. See, this is how America influenced the world by saying that, hey, you need to advance with the times. Now you see, people lost the old way. People don't know how to function the old way. See, the old way, it wasn't no relying on gas and factories. No, we lived off the earth. We know how to keep cool. We know how to preserve food. But now nations don't know how to do that shit no more. I know damn well I don't know how to do it. Now, most definitely people over here in America don't know how to do a damn thing. So I don't feel too damn bad. I know a little bit, but I know you how about Shema Shai got us. He said he's going to keep us cool when it's hot and warm when it's cold. He said he's going to feed us. So I ain't worried about it. Now, you get Revelation 18, right? See, this is how America broke the world down, man, by telling them to advance. Hey, when it says he went and implemented their God, their power, their ways. See, America broke this place down, man. People thought convenience was the way. No, man. Now you see. No, man. Now some nations still, do things the old way, certain areas. But you see, like the woman was cooking outside on the stove. See, hey, people gonna have to go back to knowing how to do that stuff, man. You know? But people don't know how to do that. Again, most definitely not over here in America. Some of the Edomites know how to survive. Some Jake know how to survive out there in the wilderness. But you get right here, Revelation 18 and 3. It says, "For all nations have drunken of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." So you see, all the nations have drunken of her fornication, man. Going to that Revelation 17, the ways of America. See, America, the Edomites broke everybody down through convenience, man. All right. Hey, people was riding donkeys, and people were walking and riding horseback to travel. Now you see people, it costs them money to, you know what I'm saying, to gas up your motorcycles, vehicles. You see? So this place finished. Let me see. Let's close this out. We just hit that, right? Yeah, we just hit that joint. Now let's hit this earlier. Let's see. Oil crisis. There was another one too. Yeah, France confirms oil crisis. Says I'll play that one again. I didn't do that. France confirms oil crisis. Says 30 to 40% Gulf energy infrastructure destroyed. France 24/7.
Well, for our business news segment.
Let's get, matter of fact, I wonder if I can roll this up and play it together. Damn.
Now, the world's most critical oil supply route. More about how the shock.
It says, oil crisis goes global, fuel shortages, panic buying, and price surge explained. Again, this is coming to America. So, be ready. You're constantly being warned through the spirit and probably how about Shema Shai, you so-called Negroes, Native American Indians, Hispanics, Latinos, Jamaicans, and Haitians. And you speckled-bird Israelites who are Israelites, man. So, only the elect will repent, which is the 1/3. And those who in this truth, we got to stay prayed up in the names of how about Shema Shai. Remember, we got to walk by faith and not by sight. This will be hard out here.
So what we're going to do now is break down those ripple effects for you further, telling you more about how the shock waves from the West Asia war are spreading far beyond the region and impacting you, millions of households. What started out as a geopolitical flashpoint in the region is now making its presence felt in a way into an energy crisis. Now, the world's most critical oil supply routes are under strain, and as the oil supplies get squeezed, the impact is naturally being felt on the streets, in homes, at fuel stations around the world. So let's just take a closer look and tell you more about how different parts of the world are being impacted. We are starting off from how Asia to Africa, from South America to the Pacific and South Asia, the oil supply crunch is now a global story. So let's take a look at how the crisis is unfolding. You can see how the fears of fuel shortages, of course, that have been talked about are playing out country by country. In New Zealand, for example, households are feeling the pinch as fuel costs are surging. Let's just move on now. Cambodia, petrol shortages have led to long queues. Chile also witnessing the impact, seeing a rush at petrol pumps as people try to beat the impending price hike. So that's the sentiment in a way on the ground, as you can see. Let's also talk about what the situation is looking like in China, where fuel stations in Beijing are packed with consumers bracing for what lies ahead, for bracing also for the impact. In India, meanwhile, scenes of long queues have been surfacing in Hyderabad, even as authorities try to calm the shortage fears. Also
Also in Japan, the government is preparing to release strategic oil reserves to stabilize the supply. And in the Philippines, let's just move on to the Philippines for now. The situation there also escalating to what can be called an energy emergency. Now, these of course are not isolated incidents like we just pointed out. They are a part of a larger global disruption. So it's not just systems that are suffering. It's people, households who are being impacted. Let's just play out for you some of these voices, how ordinary citizens around the world are reacting to this oil crunch.
This is hitting us very hard. We depend on fuel, and we are going to do our best to make sure this price hike does not get passed on to the parents, because things are already tough enough as it is.
Well, it's too high. Yeah, you see what I'm running, it's going to cost a fortune. But, yeah, I guess I have to start just not driving around so much. So, yeah, it's going up 10, 20 cents a day at least. It's, yeah, it's crazy.
For a transportation service worker like me, I want the war in the Middle East to end soon so that the price of gas goes down to normal and we can do business as usual.
And the thing is, from transport workers in Chile to residents in New Zealand and Cambodia, the rising costs, longer waits, the growing uncertainty is just about everywhere. Let's also break down for you what's driving this crisis. The global oil markets, of course, are in turmoil, and according to the International Energy Agency, the world is facing one of the largest supply disruptions in history. Global oil supply could drop by as much as 8 million barrels per day. That's the impact that we are talking about. Now, at the same time, Gulf countries are being forced to cut production by nearly 10 million barrels per day. Not because they want to, of course, but because they simply cannot export it. And with key routes blocked, storage filling up, and logistics breaking down, production itself is being scaled back. And the impact is uneven, but also widespread. Here's a look at who is being hit the hardest and how governments are responding. Let's just zoom into Southeast Asia for now. Countries like the Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia are already under strain. Governments also, in fact, have declared national emergencies. They've ordered remote work, even shutting down fuel pumps in some parts. On to South Asia now. Let's just shift focus. Pakistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan taking strict measures, from 4-day work weeks to bans on fuel sales in plastic containers, which is aimed at preventing hoarding basically. So that's what things are looking like in that region. Let's just shift gears and move to East Asia. Japan, South Korea, Taiwan tapping into strategic reserves, while also introducing domestic price caps in order to protect the consumers. In Africa, countries like Egypt, Kenya, resorting to early closures of malls and restaurants, along with export restrictions and fuel rationing. So those are the kind of measures that are being taken there. So from emergency declarations to rationing to price controls, the global response is intensifying due to the massive stress on supply chains, economies being under pressure, everyday life being impacted. And as the crisis deepens, one thing remains clear: what happens in this region is now impacting the entire world. To stay up to speed with the latest news,
So there you have it. There you have it. You think it's a joke? You think you're going on a vacation later on this year? What about 2027? Nah. Hey, I bet y'all about to cut back on them goddamn pagan days. Let's see what your 4th of July gonna look like. Let's see what y'all gonna do for so-called Easter. You know, niggas gonna try to do something anyway. But hey, alright. You think you going on a damn spring break, summer vacation? Okay. Now I was watching Patrick Humphrey's video earlier. We're going into rationing. Now he said 3 states are already starting to ration. I think it said I forget what state. States in the U.S. that are rationing due to oil prices. Let me see. Due to energy crisis. Let's see. Okay. Based on reports and regional analysts, as of early 2026, several U.S. states are experiencing energy crises, with some enacting or facing the prospect of energy rationing, demand side reductions, and severe affordability issues due to power shortages, infrastructure issues, and rising fuel costs. States facing energy shortages, potential rationing: California experiences ongoing energy crisis, including power shortages leading to voluntary and sometimes mandatory restrictions, with reports stating Californians are rationing power due to high demand and grid pressure. Colorado, the Department of Energy (DOE) identified a potential dire energy emergency in Colorado, driven by the retirement of power plants and surging electricity demand. Alaska, facing a projected energy crisis as local natural gas deposits used for power generation are nearing depletion, raising the prospect of energy shortages. South Carolina, identified along with California as having faced policies or rules for rationing power. Texas, grid operators have warned of potential shortages during peak times, with the state having experienced severe grid stress requiring emergency measures. In Texas, if I'm not mistaken, they got their own grid. It's separate. This is Ohio, identified as experiencing a significant energy affordability crisis with rapidly rising energy bills. Areas facing fuel and energy cost crisis 2025-2026 of eastern U.S. Several states, including New York, New Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Maryland, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire, has previously seen energy declarations and federal waivers for fuel transport, propane, heater oil to manage severe supply shortages during high demand periods. Southeast United States, large investor-owned utilities in Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina have seen high rates of utility disconnections. So, so there you have it, man. There you have it. So, this is grid demand, retirement plans. Affordability: consumers are facing an affordability crisis, with utility rates and home heating costs rising significantly in states like Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. So there you have it, man. So if you don't think this power going out, you have blackouts and brownouts. If you don't think they're gonna ration from oil, gas to limited electricity usage, you got another thing coming, man. And remember, with stores gonna shut down. All right, things of that nature. Things not gonna be functioning, man. All right, restaurants, stores. All right, stores might be only open for a certain amount of time, certain hours. It's gonna be rationing going on. And when them hours when they up, if you got the gas to get there, everybody gonna crowd in the stores, man. This gonna be mayhem. Okay? And don't forget, when the stores open up, they got to boot them systems, man, for them computers. So when they open the stores up, them joints ain't gonna be working right then. They got to boot up. Okay? They got to boot up. That necessarily take like 10 to 15 minutes sometimes for the joints to boot up. Alright? People gonna be damn going crazy, man. People start stealing shit. Man, start knocking people out. Taking their shit. It's gonna be so damn chaotic, man. Hey, that's why the troops out, man. Well, hey, stay prayed up in the names of how about Shema Shah, man. Shalom.